Hello, BookTube, and welcome back to Garbaugust 2025. This is Criminali's beloved BookTube event where we read trash all throughout the month of August, where he advises us in the month of August 2025 to just relax and read garbage. Maybe pay a little less attention to the news of the world and luxuriate in trash. And I've been doing that to the best of my ability. I still pay way too much attention to the news of the world, considering that I can't affect it at all. It can only affect me. It's a one-way street, so that's a recipe for an unhealthy thing. But I still do it. And we are done with Garbaugust for 2025. And that saddens me. I love Garbaugust. And I wanted to go out on a fairly stereotypical Steve note last night. So I put another book on the pile by Michael Cole, whose writing style I'm starting to get to know, unfortunately. And this is his book, Thresher. Is another killer shark novel. And this one is about a coastal community that realizes that people are disappearing, that ships are disappearing. And law enforcement starts to wonder why. We have a new man who is no pun intended, a fish out of water, who has to prove himself and who also starts to suspect there might be something more going on, very much in the Chief Brody mold of Jaws. Only the last time it was a gene-spliced killer whale great shark combo that would not happen in any way, would not make sense in any way. It could not scientifically be done. If you're going to do that, why not give it wings so that it can attack anybody anywhere? This isn't that, but it's just as bad. It's just as bad. There is a technobabble explanation that's given in the book for the killer Thresher shark that is the star of the show, but it doesn't, no pun intended, hold any water. It doesn't work at all. Thresher sharks, I don't know how many of you know your sharks. I don't know how many of you have ever encountered a shark in the wild. But thresher sharks aren't much of a worry. They are pretty savage hunters, but only of their chosen prey. They don't attack humans. Their most distinctive feature is, oddly enough, not on this cover. It's an absolutely enormous tail fin. They're actually a very beautiful kind of animal to look at. But I've never, when people say that a giant great white shark is a beautiful animal, I've never really seen it from an aesthetic point of view. To me, it seems fairly ugly. Thresher shark has more beauty to it than that, but comparatively speaking, compared to the big three species of sharks that are a danger to humans, thresher sharks, compared to them, have a much weaker bite force. They are not going to attack a human. So what does Michael Cole do? Since he wants Thresher as the title of his book, what does he do? Well, if thresher sharks aren't aggressive enough to attack humans and aren't powerful enough to really hurt them, then what do? Make a thresher shark that is mindlessly aggressive towards humans and make it 40 feet long. so you don't have to worry about the bite radius anymore. Make it enormous. Make it longer than a city bus. And then, presto, change-o, you've got an ocean-born massive mega killer. And since that is nonsense, since the threat element of this book is nonsense, the only way that this could claw its way out of being garbage would be if the human elements were good, were well done. And they aren't. They aren't well done. They are extremely stereotyped, extremely easy. And it's for that very ease that I thank them. Because this is delightful trash. Just delightful. Once you get over the hurdles that I have just mentioned, mainly that there's no way you could do a normal thriller about a killer thresher shark. It doesn't make any sense. It's like a killer hummingbird. And I'm not minimizing. If you are overboard on your small vessel and it's sharky water, but you have something befouling your rudder and you need to take care of it, and you've got your snorkeling mask on and you are underwater checking on that without anybody around in the middle of nowhere, you're not going to like seeing a thresher shark. It won't hurt you, but your heart will still start pounding. Don't get me wrong. I'm not minimizing them. It's actually wrong. It's not fair to them to compare them to hummingbirds. But they aren't a threat to humans. You could see a thresher shark, but it's not going to attack you. And so once you get over the hurdle of that, This is delightful trash. Delightful. You start wondering when the kills are going to happen and where they're going to happen. You get the now, I guess, requisite narration from the fish's point of view, which is pretty odd. I know Peter eventually started that, but at least he has a kind of haiku kind of grace to what he's doing, whereas not so much. Not so much here. But once you, but the thrill parts, the kills, as I mentioned last time, the steadily mounting question of how the good guys are going to deal with this. It's just one animal. It's not a breeding population. You just you have one solitary object of your plot correction. And you start to wonder that, and I did. Michael Cole is good enough for me. When it comes to trash, he's good enough for me. Sorry, I don't mean to quote a presidential slogan from bygone era, but still, I enjoyed this. It was pure shark garbage. So perfect way to end Garbaugust 2025. I'm hoping that I haven't read this already. One of you mentioned that from yesterday's video that I probably read Whale Shark before, or Shark Whale, or whatever the hell it was called. That I probably read it before and it slipped right out of my mind. This did not ring any bells, but maybe. I think that's one of the defining aspects of the kind of trash we're talking about, is you don't pointillistically remember it. It's kind of horrible. In all the good ways, but still horrible. And that's what this was. So that was my Garbaugust pick for last night, and now Garbaugust is over. So I will, like I mentioned yesterday, I will continue to read trash, but it won't be the fun collegiate kind of trash anymore. I will go back to reading the kind of trash that the authors think is great, where the very first person they're ever hearing from anywhere who thinks it's trash is me. Who not only thinks it's trash, but can demonstrate that it's trash. That all along the way, every step of their book's germination, from the rough idea to the first draft, to the second draft, to the working draft, to the beta readers and whatnot, all along that way, you never heard a word from anybody that what you were writing was trash. You have to wait until you get to a critic who doesn't know you, doesn't need you to give them a ride to church every Sunday to say, this is trash and here's why. I will go back to reading that kind of trash now. And the fun kind of trash I will allow to pile up until next August, when hopefully we will all reconvene to deal with the overflowing trash bins. So until then, of course, I want to know how your Garbaugust went for 2025. Of course, I want to thank Criminali and all the co-hosts of Garbaugust for doing this event, for doing one of the highlights of BookTube in the summer is Garbaugust, always. But I want to know how your Garbaugust went. Did you read any trash that you really liked, that really made you ashamed, that made you want to cover it when you're on the subway? And now we're done. I assume you're all wrapping up Garbaugust. I'm assuming that you're not going to let your trash overflow into September. I'm going to try not to do that, at least not intentionally. A lot of it I can't help. but anyway, that's Garbaugust for 2025. I had a blast, as usual, so I will wrap this up, and I will see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.